Welcome to Hoaxie Gardens and Homestead. As far as I'm concerned, it's winter. It's cold outside. Now I know that the first day of winter is not till, December 21st. But to me, it's cold, it's winter. I don't do cold very well. I don't like it. I like the heat. I like it to be hot. And the hotter the better for me. And I know a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people just wait for this cold weather. But that's not me. But so what do you do on the homestead when it's cold? You don't have a garden much. I mean, we do still have part of a garden because we have our hoop tunnels, and we also have things out that will work through the cold. We also have things underground that will go through the cold. But that's another subject for another time. But what do you do? Well, your animals still have to be fed. In fact, you have to really care for your animals a lot during the winter to make sure that they're staying warm, make sure their water's not frozen. You have to do a lot for your animals. Make sure they have fresh, clean hay so that they can, get warm. In the chicken coop, we have to close down part of it during the cold weather, the freezing weather, so that those north winds aren't going into the coop. But we still have to leave partial open because, they're pooping while they're roosting. And those fumes, that ammonia and the fumes can be toxic. You close them up tightly in their coop and they're going to die. So we have to leave that open, which means that we have to be going in and checking on them regular when we have to do that. Now we have a very small window that they can go in and out of anytime they want, and we can have everything else closed up. They can go over to the other side. They don't have to roost in the side that has the window. They can go to the other side. So they can stay warm. Our chickens do stay very warm, and that's something about chickens. They generate a lot of heat. So they keep themselves warm for the most part. As long as you do your part, they have fresh hay or wood chips, and you're closing off where those strong winds come through. Give them the place where they can go in and out, and they'll be fine. You just have to really keep a good watch on all your animals during the winter time. And even though you're not really working in your garden per se, there are things that you need to do in your garden to kind of get it ready for the springtime. There are some amendments that you can put out. Some you only have to put out once every 3 or 4 years. Some that you may want to do every year. But there are a lot of things that you can be doing in your garden, but it's not going to be an everyday thing. Now, there are things that you do on a regular basis on a homestead, especially if you're really trying to do things in a natural way, in a holistic way. There's a lot of things that you do for yourself that you're not going to go to the store and get. Making your own vinegars. I'm learning to make my own cheese. A lot of people, and I do it, full disclosure here, I don't do it every single time because I will run out, and that's laundry soap. I do like to make my own laundry soap. It works very well. It's a good laundry soap. I can make it in the 5-gallon buckets. It saves me a fortune, but I will run out and I'll need to do laundry, and so I will use my backup laundry detergent. So full disclosure, I am not perfect, far from it. But I'm trying, and I'm learning more every day, and I've been at this for a while. I'm not a young chick here, but I'm learning every day. And that's the thing about life. You should be learning every day. You should be a student every day of your life. Another thing, winters on the homestead, besides the things that you just have to do on a regular basis, making your bread, I make almond milk, just the regular things that you do. This is the time, because in the summer, the spring and the summer especially, you are outside working so much that your home does get somewhat neglected. Now you keep it clean and all that stuff, but winter time is the time to do a lot of repairs to your home on the homestead. Do a lot of your deep cleaning on the homestead during winter. Go through your pantry and really clean up in your pantry, putting out new shelving paper. Of course, nowadays it's not shelving paper, but putting that out new, doing that in your kitchen cabinets, going through closets, cleaning out closets. There's so much that you can do or need to do inside your home during the winter months when you're not outside working so much. And you get all that done during the winter time so that when spring gets here, you're ready to get out and start working on the garden, and you don't have to worry about your inside home because you've done all the repairs, you've done all the deep cleaning, and it'll make it through another summer, spring and summer. And you know, really our gardening starts the end of January, end of February, because we're putting out our seeds and starting our plants to be able to get out into the garden. And you have to do that 6 to 8 weeks before you're ready to put it outside. So that starts really early. So you really just have 2 or 3 months of what you want to call downtime, but it's not downtime. You're working. You've just shifted your focus from outside work to inside work. And there's a lot to be done inside. So I'm going to let you see just a few of the things that I've been up to this morning, starting in the morning, going through the day. It's the end of the day, and I've been a little busy soldier. So what I've done this morning is made some almond milk. I have the water running because it's freezing outside. But I've made my almond milk this morning. I am getting ready. These oranges have kind of gone as long as they can go, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to juice them, but I'm going to take the peels off, put them in a jar with some vinegar so that the jar that I have sitting on my sink I can now strain out, and then I can start a new one. I'll have stuff to use, plus I can start a new jar of cleaner. Another thing that I've done this morning is I have got up some apples ready to make some apple cider vinegar. And you want to let your apples set out for a while. They'll turn brown. The juices will start flowing through them. And I put a cheesecloth over it because I don't want the fruit flies to get on it. So my apple cider vinegar starting. And another thing that I will be doing today is canning sweet potatoes. I have these in the sink. I need to get them washed up, get them cubed, and then I'll be canning them. So already been a busy morning. It will be a busy day, and it doesn't matter what the weather is outside on the homestead. You're always busy, you're always working. Okay, so I got 8 jars, and I had some extra, and I'm just gonna fix something with that for dinner. So that was the sweet potatoes. Now I've got 2 jars of the apple cider vinegar going, 1 of the orange vinegar, and this one is a raisin vinegar, but that's been going for about 2 weeks. But now when I say orange vinegar, I don't mean that I'm going to take my orange and soak it in vinegar. I'm going to actually make orange vinegar. So just like I'm making the apple cider vinegar. So, but that's what I've got going there. Now that I've got the sweet potatoes done, I can do some potatoes. Now, we grow a lot of fingerling potatoes. For some reason, they grow awesome here. So we grow a lot of fingerling potatoes, and I can a lot of fingerling potatoes, and they do take me through the year. I do grow other types of potatoes, larger ones, but I I don't get a lot of those. They don't make as well as the fingerlings. So those are things that we eat fresh. We do baked potatoes, or our fries when we do have fries, and that type of thing. We eat those fresh. So one thing I do though is I dehydrate. These are little potato, you can call them chips, but I like to make, potato stroganoff or au gratin or that type of thing with those. And then here are cubes, and now those I'll use in soups and stews and that type of thing. So these though are going to be chunks so that I'll have them for potato salad. And when I peel my potatoes, I put them in and chunk them up. I'm going to put them in a bowl of water, and I'm going to have vitamin C powder in it. I get the 500 milligrams of vitamin C powder, and I'll put me a tablespoon in the big bowl of water that I have, and that will keep them fresh. You see how white they come out? Well, yellow, because those were yellow potatoes, but you see the pretty color that they have. So, and these will have that too, but these are going to be in larger chunks so that I'll have them for potato salad. Now, the reason I use vitamin C powder is because you could use fruit fresh, or there are other things that you can use, but they're expensive, and this isn't really that expensive. I mean, this one bottle cost me $22, but man, it lasts forever. You don't have to use that much of it into a large bowl, and it will last me. I buy one a year, so it lasts me a lot, and I use it with all my dehydrating vegetables. Oh, look, the lemongrass that I have up is rooting. Awesome. Alrighty, so I got 6 jars of potatoes, and I did 2 jars of peppers while I was at it. Starting to pop. And so, just so you see that you may not be outside working, but you're inside working. And if you're a homesteader, you know that. If you're thinking about homesteading, that is the whole purpose of this video. In fact, that's the purpose of all the videos that I do. For those who are thinking about being a homesteader, those who are wanting to be that. And you don't have to be out on a bunch of land to be a homesteader. Where you are, a homesteader is someone who owns land and works the land. So wherever you're at, you just start working your land, raising your animals, making sure you know your codes in your city, your state, your county, so that you're not overstepping your bounds. And because there's a lot of homesteads that are going through a lot of things right now, and it's mainly because they didn't know their zoning laws. So be sure you know those. Start where you're at, and don't think too that overnight you're going to be doing everything: gardening, making bread, canning, dehydrating, freezing. Don't think you're going to start doing everything all at one time. That'll overwhelm you. Start with one thing, do that till you get it down, and then you move on and you move on, you move on from there. That way you're not overwhelmed. That way you don't burn out, and then you'll be a successful homesteader. So just so you know that if you're thinking about becoming a homesteader, you may think, oh, the winter times I'll have nothing to do, I'll be so bored. No, you will not. You will not be bored. There are still things to do, and you will be busy all the time. Now, granted, during the winter months, it does get darker earlier, so you do spend a little bit more time inside, or going out and doing things outside your home that you wouldn't normally do because you're so busy, because during the summer there is so much to do, and it's good that we have that extra daylight. I think the Creator knew what he was doing when he arranged the cycles the way he did. So enjoy the winter, a little time off, cuddle up next to a fire with your special someone, and enjoy a little less work, a different type of work, and enjoy your homestead. So thank you for joining me for this short little video. Hope that you have a great weekend and hope to see you soon. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Give me a thumbs up. Bye-bye.